90-Day Fiancé's David Toborowsky has announced that he would be leaving the United States for a new journey, despite Annie Suwan's health problems and the tragic loss of her loved one. Following Annie Suwan's announcement that she has been experiencing health problems, the star of the television show 90-Day Fiancé, David Toborowsky, has decided to leave his life in the United States. When David was going through a challenging period in his life, he met Annie. He was so poor that he could not even afford to pay her dowry or get her visa. She never left his side, despite this fact. Although the age disparity between them was concerning, Annie demonstrated that she was not dating David for the purpose of financial gain. It also caused problems with the process of having a child. He had a vasectomy, and Annie suffers from polycystic ovary syndrome (PCOS). But in the year 2024, Annie and David received some encouraging news. After undergoing in vitro fertilization (IVF), Annie is now expecting her first child with David in the year 2025. This is a very significant declaration that the couple has made regarding their living circumstances. Annie has been struggling with backache and the loss of a loved one during her pregnancy, so you can imagine how difficult it has been for her. In the midst of the mayhem, David disclosed that he will be traveling to Thailand. Due to the fact that Annie is going to accompany him, he will not be traveling alone. As David disclosed that he was prepared for his journey to Thailand, he also provided a picture of his photograph that was required for the application of a visa. David was questioned by a fan who was perplexed as to why Annie was birthing her child in Thailand. It was his response that, "Her family is there." During his conversation with a different admirer, he revealed that Annie's delivery in Thailand is going to be very comfortable. There was another fan who was concerned about the implications that Annie's birth in Thailand, rather than the United States, could have for her citizenship. According to what they said, Annie had put forth a lot of effort to obtain her citizenship. A dual citizen is going to be their daughter, according to David, who explained the situation. Despite the fact that he brought Annie to the United States, David made sure that she never forgot where she came from. Both Annie and her husband continued to make frequent journeys to Annie's hometown. Annie and David even had their very own spin-off show, David and Annie, After the 90 Days, which ran for a total of 2 seasons and was televised on television. They filmed their travels to Thailand when the couple attempted to adopt Annie's cousin and brother, who were both teenagers at the time. As a result of their medical issues, they had decided to give up on the idea of having children of their own. In addition, Annie and David were curious about the American man's ability to care for a newborn child, given that he was approaching 60 years old. Annie, on the other hand, developed a case of baby fever after her sister in the United States gave birth to a child. Annie just made the announcement that she is pregnant, and they began actively researching the many choices for in vitro fertilization, IVF, until they discovered one that succeeded. Given that this is her first pregnancy and she does not have any close family members living in the United States, it is possible that her family has suggested that she return to her native country in order to give birth. Annie has not been progressing very well. During her most recent revelation, she disclosed that she was experiencing back pain while using her sewing machine. In addition, Annie was informed that her grandma had passed away a few weeks ago,